This is where the scenery. Those sheep we saw a little bit a while ago. Those I kind of want to go back there. Hope I spelled that. Spelling, yeah. Let's try that over. Hey guys, Blake here with Skookum Gold Camp, and I'm just west of Dawson Creek in Canada, and I'm on my way back to Central. We just finished closing Miners Depot for the winter. Lisa and the kids have been up there most of the winter, keeping that going, and we only got about 2 months left before the camp starts, so this is when things really start getting rolling. Like I said, I'm just west of Dawson Creek. I was going to stop at mile 0, kind of show you the beginning of the Alaska Highway, but there was no way for me to stop there. There's too much traffic going on. Wrong time of day, but this is the first rest stop west of town, and it's pretty cool. I'll show you in a second. There's a bridge right over here with a really steep canyon. Make for some good pictures and video, so I'll share that with you. And speaking of sharing with you, we are going to be a lot more committed to sharing more videos with you from now on. We've missed doing this, and we didn't have much time once we first started getting the Gold Camp going, but you know, full steam ahead on everything, including doing some more videos, so stay tuned. Today we should be entering a lot more beautiful scenery and probably seeing some more wildlife too. So anything I see along the way that I think I should share with you, I'll be sure to do it. And in the meantime, stay tuned. Man, that weather yesterday sucked. Could have been worse though. You know, we get it like that at home all the time. So not ideal driving conditions, but didn't have any problems. Today, as you see, it's much nicer. We are on our way to Whitehorse today. So Whitehorse is going to be my last stop in Canada anyways. And tomorrow night I should be at least in Fairbanks, maybe all the way back to Central. So stay tuned. We should be stopping a couple times along the way. There's a lot of cool stuff on this part of the highway. We got probably see some buffalo, maybe some moose or bears this time of year is possible. There's a hot springs out here that we used to go to all the time when we drive through. I might stop there and take a quick video of that. And so yeah, so stay tuned, and hopefully have a good day. Looks like it's just going to be a fantastic day for this drive. Starting to warm up, but it sure is beautiful here with all that snow on the mountains. This place is called Summit Lake. They've got a campground that's closed down and a lake that you probably shouldn't try to put a boat on because it's still frozen. Anyways, I stopped here and it made me think of my friend Russ. If you guys know who Russ is, he has RV or TV on YouTube. Definitely want to check it out if you guys like RV travel. He does all kinds of cool product reviews and travels all over the country and kind of shows you the things that other travel sites might not. And one thing he really likes to do, because his viewers really like to see it, is the signs. And as soon as I stopped here to check out the view, I saw a sign about the Alaska Highway. So I figured, why not do like Russ would and share that with you guys. So here's the sign, Alaska Highway. For those of you who haven't watched the history of the making of the Alaska Highway, it's actually pretty fascinating. There's a few really good documentaries about it. It's 1,486 miles from Dawson Creek to the end in Fairbanks, which is where we're heading. We'll be there tomorrow, hopefully. But it was all about war at the beginning. You can read here, the threat of Japanese invasion and the bombings of Pearl Harbor led to the building of the Alaska Highway in 1942. I was just reading this sign, and those sheep we saw a little bit ago were pretty cool. They didn't really care we were there at all. And stone sheep, I was like, oh yeah, they're mountain goats, so stone sheep makes sense. Well, that's not what they're named after. They're named after the American hunter-explorer Andrew J. Stone. So yeah, I thought it was a whole different reason. Kind of crazy. I feel like I'm in Jurassic Park. Last time we came to the hot springs, they had signs about bears and stuff like that, and part of the hot springs were closed off. It's been a few years, but now they've got this electric fence. I swear, makes me think Jurassic Park. It goes around the whole thing, and there's even a gate over there I'll check out in a minute so you can get through and walk out to the springs. Pretty interesting. All right, here we are. Check this out. Electric fence. There's the paddock. I guess the dinosaurs are on the other side. Never feed a bear. It's a good idea. Let's see what's going on. So I guess we're not protected out here. Kind of creepy. But this is a place anybody that drives through should stop at least once. It's a beautiful trail out to the springs. And once you get there, it's awesome. There's bathrooms, changing area. You'll get to see it here in a minute. Cool thing about this hot spring is the further up you get, the warmer the water gets. You can kind of go where it's most comfortable for you. We are almost there. I can hear the water. Laird Hot Springs. Some people call it Laird or Liard. I call it Laird. Maybe we can solve the mystery today, figure out what it's really called. kind of want to go back there. But then I might never be able to come back here. Well, that was pretty nice. The water was perfect. People were friendly, and it was nice to come back here. I haven't been in there since we went as a family, and that was probably 2014, maybe 2016. So it's good to see again, and hopefully we'll get back here again next year. All right, guys, that was pretty fun. Haven't been here in a while. Unfortunately, I couldn't solve the mystery of the right way to pronounce Laird Hot Springs, but maybe next time. Maybe Google. I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna hit the road. Look at that. There's a baby. Good morning. It is, I don't know what time in the morning it is, but it's a crisp, cool morning here. I'm just west of Whitehorse. We made it all the way there last night, and man, what a day yesterday. All that wildlife. I think I got video of 4 of those bears, and there's a couple more I saw that I just couldn't catch. It was getting later in the evening, getting too dark. I also saw some deer and caribou that weren't in the videos too, but definitely an epic day for wildlife. So that, I guess, let's see. Black bears, buffalo, bison, whatever. Lots of sheep. Saw a little porcupine, caribou, and deer. So yeah, kind of hit it all. No grizzly bear, but there's places down the road when I get closer to Destruction Bay today where I've had a chance to see them. So you never know what you're going to see on these roads. See a lot of bear poop on the side of the road right now. I think a lot of these guys are just getting up and they're eating whatever they can. So like I said, we're just west of Whitehorse now, and we're going to head into Haines Junction and make the turn towards Destruction Bay. So stay tuned. Hey guys, I don't know what time it is, and the farther north we get, the harder it's going to be to tell, but we did just get through Haines Junction, and let me tell you, Haines Junction is a real turning point on the trip back to Alaska. Get it? Turning point. Yeah, it's the only place you actually have to turn to stay on the Alaska Highway. Anyway, that was bad. But we are just outside of Haines Junction, working our way towards Destruction Bay, which is a beautiful part of the drive. I'll be taking some videos over there. I've seen grizzly bears there a couple of times on that particular part of the trip, so maybe we'll get to see those. And we're inching our way closer and closer to Alaska, and we'll at least be in Fairbanks tonight, barring anything unforeseen, and maybe even be able to get home. So we'll see what happens, and until then, just stay tuned and enjoy the scenery. Okay guys, we just got down to Kluane Lake, which is where Destruction Bay is, on the other side of the lake, which we'll get to in a minute. Another beautiful area, like I said. We're going to drive through here and you'll see the mountain walls going right down to the roadway here. We might see some sheep again, and again, maybe even some bears, you never know. Matter of fact, what's that up on the hillside? Let me see if I can zoom in on that here. Try and get a more sturdy shot here of those sheep. Some cool signs over here too. And I know Russ would be mad at me if I didn't show them to you. So that's what I'm gonna do. Besides, he doesn't like a little bit of gold history. Largest lake in the Yukon. 1904. It's a long time ago. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Kluane Gold Rush. They discovered gold here in 1903. I think things were a little bit more rough back then. That's a nice bridge, huh? Let's see here. Wagon Road 1904. On the hill above us is the place. There we go. Sorry, it wasn't straight. On the hill above us was a place where two construction units met, and the official ribbon cutting ceremony opened the new Alaska Highway on November 20, 1942. Can you imagine driving the road back then? I know I mentioned this before, but it's definitely worth watching some of the old videos. There's some great videos. You can even find some on YouTube about the construction of the Alaska Highway, and it really is a modern marvel. And what a project it was. But look what they got to look at every day. Well, I found the Soldiers Summit Interpretive Trail. It's only a kilometer, so less than a mile for sure. and I could use a good stretch. And it says it's an interpretive trail, so there's probably going to be some cool signs along the way. And then maybe we can get a picture just like that one, but today. Self-guided trail leads to the site of the 1942 official opening of the Alaska Highway. The path started as a First Nations trail, which became the original route of the Alaska Highway in this area. Yeah, there's going to be signs and stuff, so I'll walk it a little bit and see how far it goes. But it looks like it's going to be a little over a half mile, which is no big deal. So let's go. Let's see which one's in English. There we go. In recognition of the many who contributed to the building of the Alaska Highway and in commemoration of its 50th anniversary, this monument was dedicated on July 18, 1992 by the Alaska Highway Rendezvous 92 Society, the Yukon Anniversaries Commission, and Foothills Pipelines Limited. Wartime road. Like we read earlier, the whole purpose of the building of the Alaska Highway was during wartime, World War II. Well, as much as I wanted to finish that trail, I am by myself, and I'm in Canada, which means I don't have any of my guns. I just heard something, so I think I'm going to save the rest of this trail for next time. We know all about mosquitoes.
But that people like to want to go to White Horse and maybe campaign products or people come up here.
All right, that was awesome. I didn't think I was going to make it, as you saw a moment ago, before we started hiking up there, because I heard that noise, which was definitely bigger than a bunny rabbit, and so I felt I'd rather be safe than sorry. So ran into 4 hikers coming down the hill, and they were going up, so I just followed them the rest of the way and got to see everything all the way to the top. And I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you take some time to pause the video and read those signs too. There's a lot of history there. That is the old highway, not down here where it is today. So it's kind of cool to actually stand in the spot where the two brigades met and completed the highway. A lot of history. You can't imagine what it was like here then, but at least I got to see it today. All right. We are in Destruction Bay. This is the Talbot Arm Motel. We've stayed here before. They've got a nice little hotel, comfortable accommodations, a restaurant, groceries and snacks and gas. So It's a great place to stop if you're stuck between Whitehorse and, say, Fairbanks. Don't want to go any further, you're low on gas. This is definitely a good place to stop. We just got through Destruction Bay. This is where the road usually gets really bad. So once I start seeing frosties, I will definitely show those to you, because anybody who's planning a trip through the Alaska Highway needs to know about it. I know too many people who have broke down as a result of the road conditions because they're not prepared for them. So I'll be sure to show that to you. We're probably 2 hours, maybe a little more, from being back in Alaska, or at least being to the border, depending upon the wait time to get through. So that's exciting. Almost home, guys. But yeah, I will show you anything that I see along the way. The roads are already starting to get a little bit rough, and oh, yep. And but this is also the area where bears. And I just talked to somebody here a little bit ago that had seen some over here, some grizzlies. So there's a chance. Anyways, let's see what we can see. So like I was saying before, road conditions are kind of a thing over here. From Whitehorse pretty much all the way to Tok is notorious for having road problems. And I don't know the exact reason why, but as you can see, there's lots of patching going on here. I don't know why this area is worse, but I know it's attributed to ice and freezing and thawing, and it changes so frequently that they don't have all of the bad spots flagged. And I know several people who caused major damage to their trailers, even up to and including broken axles and things like that, by hitting some of these frost heaves that they're really hard to see if they're not flagged. You can kind of look ahead and see where the road looks different. Like right here, this is an area they probably fixed to some extent. There's no flagging, but it's still bumpy, you know, and even when you try to avoid the worst of it, it can still be pretty bad. And so if you're planning a trip to come up on the Alaska Highway, you can pretty much guarantee that you're going to want to spend as much time as possible going slow through this section of highway. There's been times where it's so bad where I think I'm going to get from Whitehorse to Fairbanks no problem, but the road conditions slow me down so much that it takes me several extra hours to get through here without damaging anything. And so definitely something to keep an eye out for as you're driving along, especially between Whitehorse and then after you get into Alaska, all the way pretty much to Tok. Last year it was bad all the way to Tok and even a little bit beyond before it started to smooth out. But yeah, so anyways, plan accordingly. So that was pretty cool, seeing another nice healthy looking bear. They're looking really good for being just coming out of hibernation, so that was pretty cool to see. Kind of like that other one we saw yesterday. And speaking of bumps, did I remind you to make sure you go to the bathroom before you leave Destruction Bay? Because I do not endorse this section of highway for anybody who has to pee or thinks they have to pee. Yeah. All right. Anyways, go slow. Take your time. If you have to spend the night in Tok, go for it. There's some nice options there. See you later. Ow. Woohoo! All right, we made it. Back home to Alaska. Still got a lot of driving left to do, but we made it. It's not too bad out. It's probably 50 degrees and partly cloudy. The border crossing I still have to get through yet though, so you never know. We are back in Alaska, where I can drive in miles per hour instead of kilometers. So now everything makes sense to me again. So I thought the roads were getting better. Not so much. I think they're worse. And now I gotta be. Boy, they more. Man, I had to get out and stretch. Those bumps are worse here than they are on the other side of the border, which is unusual. Usually from Whitehorse over to the border basically are the worst. And then last fall when I came through from the border to Tok, had some heaves here and there, but my goodness, it's just like non-stop all the way through. And it's just jarring the crap out of me. So I had to take a break, so I figured I'd stop here. This is a nice view. Geologic rock and roll. Pretty cool. You wouldn't think there's sand dunes in Alaska, but there is. Getting closer. I'm about a half an hour away from Fairbanks. It's 10:30 and not dark. Sunset. All right, well, we made it. We are now in Fairbanks. I got in late last night and glad to be home, almost home. And that's where we're heading next, but I figured I'd stop and let you all know that we made it to Fairbanks. I'm standing in front of the Alaska Pipeline, which I'm sure you've all heard of. This puppy can produce as much as, I think at its highest point was like 2 million barrels a day went through this thing. That's a lot of oil. And it's not that much right now, but still a massive amount of oil passes through those pipes over there and brings it down to Valdez, I believe. So yeah, Prudhoe Bay to Valdez, it's like 800 miles. So that's a lot of pipe. We're gonna head to Central right now. It's about 125 miles away, and then we'll be home. Hey guys, we finally made it to Central. It's been a long drive, 3,600 miles from Fort Sight, Arizona to here, and about, what, 1,600 miles from Dawson Creek to Central as well. And we had some good weather, we had some bad weather. We saw a lot of great things between the wildlife and the scenery and the hot springs, and see where the Alaska Highway was finally finished, and got an exciting season ahead of us. So thank you for joining me on this trip along the Alaska Highway, and I'm excited to share some more videos with you. Teddy's gonna be here soon. We got our mechanic Steve, Deanna, and we got some more people coming from the lower 48. They're gonna help us make this summer epic. So stay tuned for some more videos coming out very soon, and until then, enjoy this beautiful spring weather.